I would like to invite Sridhar, Contact Center Strategy and Modernization Consultant. He has nearly 3 decades of expertise driving success across employee engagement, customer experience, and business transformation. Sridhar is a recognized authority of contact center strategy and technology modernization. He leads initiatives that reimage legacy contact center environments into agile, cloud-native, AI-powered ecosystems. Today, Sridhar will explore the evolving landscape of workforce management roles and share insight into how the future of contact centers is redefining experiences for employees, customers, and broader business ecosystem. Sridhar is going to talk about the topic which is AI and GenAI revolutionizing workforce management and redefining experiences across employees, customers, and business operations. So we welcome Sridhar.
Good to be here. There is telepathy, there is intelligence. I'm just going to speak what Jay started about. So, as Anjana mentioned, it's going to be about revolutionizing workforce management. What's changing? He set the ball rolling. I can't see Jay. Jay, where are you? Hey, man. So he started the ball rolling. I knew he was going to speak about it. I built my thing on the same line saying, what's going to happen? And the impact that it's going to have on experiences. Because today, where we are is, we used to talk about tasks, automation, and today it's all about emotion. If you look at this extreme corner, this is what WFM used to be. We used to be doing reporting, we used to be doing forecasting, planning, compliance, precision routing, quality assurance, WFO, and so on and so forth. We moved on to saying, this was all employee focused. How do I keep my employees happy? Then we moved on to saying, let's keep our customers happy. I'm going to do NLP IVR, I'm going to do language translators, I'm going to do chatbot, email, digital twins, two-way SMS, and so on and so forth. And WFM was also focusing on saying, how do I keep contributing to keep the employee have to keep happy as a WFM, my first customer. Customers become my, place where I have to ensure that I deliver what I used to do. Third part is the emotion. Now, emotion, what happened is everything changed for me. I have had this journey for about 30 years. Started working with a thing called TCS, telecalling systems, which is the Alvarias of the world today. And today I work with what? I work with CRM, CCASs, everything has to be there. And the things that we work about is the 13 factors that really matter today from a WFM standpoint is I need to be able to know what my interaction manager is looking like. I need to know what my case manager is looking like. And I'm sure most of you will relate to it, saying that this is where my knowledge is coming from, of saying, how do I run this show? Where is my unified desktop? My single pane of glass is the key, whether it's for the agent, whether it's for the customer, whether it's for the WFM guy getting the planning doing. Jay spoke about predictive planning. How do I do predictive planning? I believe I need to have a SPOG in place if I'm going to start doing predictive planning. IVR improvements, these are things that I kept working on. Now, this is the new currency that we spoke about. I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to actually move into say what it was like. It used to be manual. We used to be doing, work which was a manager doing the job. Then we moved to some tools, and there's autonomous. Trust me, as I say this, 3 years down the road, 85% of the work that we do in WFM today is gone. We already reached some places. It is going to be redundant in some ways. The change is happening as we speak. It is going to be more about the old playbook used to be about doing all this in a particular way that we used to have our customers wanting to do it in. The new playbook is all about saying, how do I orchestrate this whole piece of the puzzle? The platform convergence that's happened, I don't play with now the volumes of saying what is my number of interactions. I play with what my CRM and CCAS is going to do for me. My CCAS is loaded. My CRMs has the entire information. I believe the playground for a WFM resource actually sits within that CRM and CCAS, nowhere else. And that's where the piece is. What does that roadmap look like? I can tell you some companies are already there. I've already helped some companies get there in the last assignment that I was in. We're pretty much getting there We've done those easy pilots to get people to start doing browser-based automation. We've not gone down to the agentic AI browser-based automation. I'll be candid about it. However, do you see it coming? I'm sure Mohit will also sitting out here say, yes, it's going to happen 2 years down the road, guys. Take out all these roles. And I know a lot of you guys are experimenting with it. I heard Krishnakant also speak about it. It's there. I will not need 85% or 90% of the roles that I do. Now, what's the change that's going to bring, as if you look at it, in terms of what's going to happen to the WFM guys? It's a view, and a few of us in the industry believe this is a view. We're working on it. There's just 4 roles left for me. If I look at it, I have AI-Augmented Strategists, which is the WFM guys who are actually doing who are translating the business goals to the dynamic models, leveraging both the GenAI AI capabilities and the predictive analytics and the last mile agents. Agents are never going to go. The humans are never going to go. My business is going to stay. It is the number of interactions at the rate at which is growing is phenomenal. And that's what, Jay, you tried to call about. It is not going to go. I'm not going to lose a single agent the way it's going. It's just going to translate in a different way. My digital interaction is going to be about 85%. But that 15% is going to be humongous. Those are the complex ones that are going to be left. The experience engineers. Who is the best guy to design that experience, orchestrate that experience? It's going to be one of your WFM folks. It's not just WFM folks, there are other people who are coming in. But the way to survive or sustain and keep growing is to pivot either within this framework is what I believe, or you pivot out into a different task. There are enough roles to do in the industry per se. And then you have the automation orchestrators. Now, the strategies are the actual tactical guys that are left. The rest are all actually either post-analytics or they're the build, if you look at it. This we do in some form or the other as a WFM role even today, if you look at it. Now, to help with saying what is the component or tool that we need to work with to do all this. If I look at it, I have a customer interaction engagement which is out there, which is knowledge. I say knowledge first because it's a learning that every one of us may have had now. Everybody tried to bring AI in without having the knowledge in place. Now they say, hey, you know what? Get the knowledge in place. Maybe I leverage GenAI, maybe I leverage Amazon Q, maybe use whatever. Use a Bedrock to go out and create the LLM out on an AWS platform. The knowledge is key. Then everything else that's going to have an interaction, including down to the authentication factor of it. In the end, we're coming down to a 2-factor authentication or a voice biometric, some form of authentication. That's one piece that we're looking at it. You look at the journey mapping. The journey mapping, the moment I have a platform integrated, journey maps are available. I need to work on that. I need to figure out where. The prediction is not going to be out when is that call going to land. The prediction is going to be where is that call going to come from and for what and when. The change is there. My simulation engines in the old world used to tell me, I'm going to get this volume in this particular channel at this time. Today it's going to be, what is that query I'm going to get? How do I address it? Do I address it with a bot or do I address it with a human? Would I even need a human here? Or do I need to do it a different job or proactively reach out? That's the key. Now, what does this shift? So if you look at it, there are 4 roles that really boils down to, as I see in the future. Maybe you may have a different perspective for it. But then that's where it boils down to. That was a strategy. Now, what does a tactical day in the life of autonomous WFM look like by the hour? It's going to happen that at 8 in the morning, your forecast engine's already, the forecast engine ran the previous night. We do a RAP, review action plan for every day. We do a 3-month strategy. We do a weekly optimization. It levels not just a WFM, it happens at every revenue earning stage, whether it's sales, whether it's service, and so on and so forth. Now, I can do, which was not possible to compute on a daily basis, the previous night, which AI does. The strategist actually just looks at something which is like a dashboard to say, is it green or do I need to bring in some more interventions that requires me to do something? Third is, agents today already get personalized shift, changes or break optimizations or, VTOs and PTOs. And so the n number of things that we can do to get onboard or offboard time. 10 a.m., the real-time agility. There is a sudden spike. Do I need to run around, do anything about it? Nothing. There is agentic AI sitting out there to reroute that, to do a queue busting. We used to do queue busting by saying call back later or deflect it, whatever it could be, right? Today, it's a more sensitized, emotional queue busting where I address the problem there and then now, which is through, and it is not going to be a human doing it. It's going to be, it's an AI driving it today. I've written agentic AI. It's not getting done by agentic AI today. It's getting done by AI. But before this year ends, this agentic AI is going to drive at least a change in terms of where the query needs to land. Where is the precision routing going to look at solving this problem? It automatically pushes the notifications where I need to get people. And if you look at the stars, this is for an organization. We've done this is already achieved for the organizations. The ones that you don't see as a star are the ones that are getting done. And by December 2025, this project is complete. This is going to be literally and this is not a small organization, it's a large organization. They have the deep pockets to go on and fund something like this, the fact of the matter. And if you look at it, it keeps on moving on. You know, queues get stabilized in real time without human intervention actually coming into play, without a WFM analyst running around and doing something, or there's been a code red situation on the floor. I don't need to do all that anymore. It's getting managed. Experience engineering, there is a trend that comes out. There is a issue. What happens is we do a lot of post-facto. We've been living in a post-facto world. Oh, this happened. We end up doing a RCA explaining what happened and spending 25% of our time explaining how did it bomb. It changes. It changes. Today we are able to trend it. We are able to push it out to the agents, push it out into the system, push it out to the website, push it out to the apps, address that complaint that's sitting out there. We are able to control that customer sentiment within an hour. Pick up the NPS, pick up that promoter. Within that hour, we are able to change it. We used to work on getting it down in the next 1 month if something bombed. 3 p.m. is when I'm just giving an example. This is going to happen in the morning also. If there is an agent struggling, and by agent, I don't mean just a human agent. GenAI agents struggle. I don't know if you've run into trouble with them. They say, oh shit, I'm lost. You do your co-pilot. This is the answer I could get. I can't, can you prompt me further? So there is a prompt required for them, right? Does that prompt need to come from a human? Not necessarily. It can come from it could come from another bot. So whether it's a human or the coaching time comes in, there is a resolution time happening. There is a delay in something getting processed. Those things get addressed real time. And the guidance to either go out and coach automatically or through instructor-led training or through designing something comes into play. It is that proactive coaching kicks in the same day. Micro trainings can be delivered because your content can be developed on the fly. It's just a quick 5-minute, 10-minute and go. Let's go next. Then there is a close, which is like, it's just at 6 p.m. It doesn't necessarily close at 6 p.m. I'm just trying to give you a 9 to 6. Your reports are ready when you walk in. You don't have to do your data dips to multiple systems or try to set up make sure that I don't need to go out and set up ETLs on Tableau anymore. What if I tell you that you can just do data dips in real time and get your reports? You don't need to create data warehouses. I'm sure you're doing all of that. Some of you might be saying, why am I wasting time doing this, man? Just do it direct. I see a man smiling there and I think he's saying, why am I setting up the archaic way? Let's do it normal. They do a data dip in real time, pick it up, get the output, dump the rest. Don't need it. It doesn't matter. My decision quality is not going to change whether I do it the traditional way of putting everything up or whether I just give an outcome of what was the result from that report. This is where the catch is that the feedback is automated for everybody, whether it's the WFM guy, whether it's the strategy, and then the loop. It is overnight. Everything runs again. This is a very strategic part of it. We spoke about the strategic part of slide before. This is a tactical part of it of saying, wow, does it run day on day? It was a vision. If you had asked me, and I'll be candid, if you had asked me 3 years back, can we automate 85% of the tasks in WFM? And I said, nonsense, man. I need the guys to do it. Today I say, chuck it, man. I don't need it. I can automate it. I can move it. I'm waiting for that browser-based agentic AI to come to that level where I say, I don't need a planner. You don't need a planning architect sitting out there. I would need 10% of my workforce. However, I need the rest of the roles I spoke about. The roles that I spoke about was those, this is what WFM for me becomes as we go forward. I don't do primarily WFM only, but this is the role that I see coming out there. Now, this is what I wanted to bring to the table. The reason I say is it's about experience. It is about orchestrating that experience. WFM guys used to ensure service level. WFM needs to ensure that experience is where I'm going. That's about what I had to share honestly. Any questions, any thoughts? My only question is, in 36 months, is your workforce management function waiting for instructions, or will it be orchestrating it? As a friend, as a colleague, as a peer, guys, we need to be orchestrating it. And we're already doing it. Right? Or did I say something that looks a little far-fetched? Yes, Mohit?
So, first of all, this is amazing stuff. Sridhar, amazing stuff and beautifully presented. Since you're already working with organizations, and I think one of the examples you showed that in that organization, a lot of this transformation has already taken place or all ongoing, right?
Yeah. So
and obviously you also mentioned that that organization has deep pockets. So in terms of a lot of the organizations are already doing some bit of it. But for the WFM leaders sitting here, what would be your recommendation for them in terms of how do you create a business case around it, ROI around it? How do you position it in front of CXOs to get their buy-in, to go on to a journey, something like this?
My magic bucket has been, or the book has been those 13 capabilities.
Okay.
Those 13 capabilities make the difference from a customer engagement standpoint. When you say, how do I do this, right? It is those 13 capabilities that make the difference. And there's WFM sitting out there, which actually is this thing. Now, there is a cloud movement happening. There is a cloud movement happening. If I do this cloud movement, the CCaaS movement, and you cannot avoid it. Nobody can say, I'm going to stay on my legacy system. People have they've tried arm twisting. I know of Commonwealth Bank of Australia, Genesis is going to stay until 2035. But drop dead, it is going to go. I know of USAA, which has arm twisted, kept them holding, it is done, dusted. I know of a Bank of Montreal, they were trying to arm twist, done, dusted. They're all gone. Everybody's got to move. Now, when you do that movement, what are you trying to achieve? You're not just moving something to the cloud, which is a contact center, which is saying, I'll move my omni-channel and all. If you don't take in that CRM along with you, you will not be able to deliver what is required, what is expected to be done. Now, having said that, the question that you asked, that CIO business case comes from this, how am I doing this? Is this integrated? And the next piece is pick up a piece on one of those 27 different components. For your entire experience to be delivered and assured, each of these components will do the job in some form or the other. It's about breaking that framework down. Do I have a capability to go out each of those different things? And I'm happy to share this. I'm a person who believes in open sharing always. It doesn't matter. Nobody's got an IP on this, right? Sure. Whatever I showed, it's my IP. It's open. 30 years, I've said, what is mine is yours. I don't expect yours to be mine, but I'm okay with you looking at it. If you look at that, you pick up one of those pieces. You will have success in one of those pieces. You'll get the rest of the 27 in play. Now, the catch is, can I do it in silo? I'll take an example of a very large, one of the largest American investment group advisories and whatever. They said, I'm going to do core. I spoke to somebody about this some time back. They did core 3 years back. And the warning I gave them was, guys, your knowledge is not in place. It doesn't matter whether, they said, we don't want to invest in knowledge. You said, don't invest in knowledge, just let a LLM work on it. Nobody believed 3 years back that LLM could go out and sit with all the knowledge and answer a query on a pop of a prompt, right? Today, knowledge management has become so simple and easy. I just need to let the LLM in. I just need to let the engagement begin, right? You cannot deploy AI if you don't have knowledge.
Great.
And data native, right? So you guys do that. Exactly that's what you do. Knowledge can be organized so much more easier today, even for a WFM folk. So if I look at it, to do the first level of automation in WFM, I don't need GenAI, man. I need an automation anywhere, or I need a core AI. I need a connectivity to the database table. So let me take an example of, let's say, NICE. I'll take a SmartSync, I'll take an automation anywhere, and I'll use employee engagement manager within NICE. These three factors. I can automate 50% of the jobs that a WFM does, 50% of a job a WFM does in the NICE world today. In the case of Connect, I'll do it in a slightly different way. Connect, I will not be able to use to Connect WFM. It's not worth it. So we'll end up using a NICE or a Blue variant or a whatever. The same thing comes into play. The key part is the data dip. It is possible to dip into something. The reason is API. We are an API-driven structure. We are microservices based. We don't need to leave servers running, man. I can run the service only when I want it, pick it up, come back. There is no DW happening. So now if you look at, these are 27 items I've given. You pick up any one item and tell you how to create a business case for a customer. If you have a customer, you say, I'll pick up one of the things for you and do it. What's going to happen is, as you dialogue in a 30 to 60 day, the guy will realize, I need to go out and do this, right? Boss, everybody who owns a successful business has one simple statement say, you know what, it makes sense, but it doesn't apply to us. The better one is, I've heard this one. It makes common sense, but it doesn't apply to our ecosystem. And I was like, I don't understand this statement, man. Customer came back 9 months, long sales cycle. Yeah, long sales cycle. But 9 months later, this is what they did. We helped them choose the CRM. We helped them choose the platform. We did the blueprint for them. The convincing was longer than the implementation. 6 months, that MVP 1 was out. It took 9 months for the customer to agree that, boss, I need to do this in tandem. We actually refused. We took a punt. My boss actually said, you're going to lose this business. I said, no, boss. Why will I do something that's not going to be successful? I would rather think for the customer to be successful. I'll rather hold on. If I think he's going to lose, I'll do what he wants. But today, customers are listening. CIOs are, and they are lost because they are not able to contain it. They are sitting in their own ecosystems. It's just a little nudge you need to do, saying, in your customer engagement practice, are you able to manage all this? If I look at these 13 actually does everything from a customer engagement, whether it's a website, whether it's a in-app chat, authenticated, whether it, and so on and so forth. And these 27 components is what you need to build. I can build it within one ecosystem, I can build it with multiple ecosystems. You may have a choice. Does that help answer the question? Perfect, as long as I did that. It works for me.
Hi.
Yeah, please go ahead.
No, this is regarding the 4 roles that you talked about. So do you see a clear line of differentiation between these roles, or will it be a blended role or a combination of these blended roles? Why I'm asking is to think forward how I should transform my workforce.
Either you get into one of these 4 roles, is how I will say this, or you think of a different job, pivot into a different role.
No, my question is...
Just a thought.
Yeah, no.
I'll tell you, okay, yeah, you're right. Now, what is this guy, who do you think fits best here? The staffing models leveraging predictive analytics and GenAI insights. The scheduler.
No, I'll tell you where I'm coming from.
Yeah, please.
Right? So, GenAI is actually very universal in terms of AI and in terms of LM model, every development which is happening, right? So the way I see it, and I could be completely wrong, right, is that there will be a base AI talent which will be required. From where I see it, we can have one or a group of people who will be able to do all these 3, or at least 2 or 3 combined.
I didn't quite understand that. The reason is I don't understand. I agree with that basic AI bit. You don't need basic AI anymore. I'll be candid. Who all are the Gen AI guys out here? I don't need basic AI anymore. I don't need an AI base at all. There is no foundation required today. Sorry, but fact.
Yeah.
On the second part, help me understand and I'll answer that.
No, what I was trying to say was, the way we see it, or I see it, is that there could be a combination of these two roles. I mean, I don't think it will be just 4 roles, or it could be less than 4 roles or 3 roles.
It is up to you. I am just sharing a viewpoint of a person who has blood like you, along with some other few of the same people who have blood flowing through them, and the pain is same. It could be different. You build your own model. My point basically is that transition is coming. You know, my question is only one. Are you going to be waiting for instructions or already going to be orchestrating it? But today, you know what? I'll tell you an example. As a WFM guy, years back, there's this brochure, Lillian Vernon. There's a brochure company that used to be out of the US. Those buggers start saying, you know what, my inbound gets hit really bad for the reward collections by the 1st to the 10th. You know what my simple solution for them was? And they were struggling for it for a year. I had just joined as a for the company that I was, we were doing consulting for them to improve their, demand management. A simple thing was, boss, change your stupid mailing for platinum, bronze, silver, and to, defer it by 10 days each. Why the hell are you mailing everything out on the, and US used to be mailing 20 years back, 15 years back, right? They used to send that damn email out, everything on the 25th, patak. And then they're sitting, my contact center is jacked. You get what I'm saying? The solution is going to be, and it changed. They started deferring. The platinum guy used to get the rewards newsletter by the 20th only, and so on and so forth. And the first entry of the newest guys used to get it first. Then the bronze guys, the silver guys, and the whole volume was managed. So what did we do? We went back, orchestrated the demand, let the demand flow. It's a very simple solution. Similarly, if I have to, who's going to suggest the IVR optimization? Is it going to be the manager on the floor? Yes, they will of course be able to, but is the workforce guy who knows, you know what, this is what's happening. It actually comes from the telephony guy first. I don't have so many trunks, guys, what the hell are you doing? Today I can do a spin a sip on the fly. I used to be living in TDM switches, man, before. Earlier, IVR optimization used to be, I don't want to give dead air to my agents. The dead air used to happen because I used to run out of trunks. And I'm talking 15 years, 20 years back. Dead air, before 2000, before 2004, 5, when InContact came, or 5.9 came, before that, I used to be purely on TDMs, even for about 10 years back. Now we have SIP, I can fly it, I can fly, spin a trunk on the fly. I don't need to worry about it. So to answer that question, just to come back, you need to start picking up the orchestration layers of saying, where do I start orchestrating what part of it? What is it improvement? From the WFM guy actually has more knowledge, as Jay mentioned. I don't know if I interpreted it right, Jay, and correct me. The most knowledgeable person sitting out there on that business is that WFM guy, because he looks at everything. He's making the report for everything, even for things that he doesn't do. It started from reporting. It started from doing, I didn't come from a report. I'm a maths graduate. Let me be candid. That's where it started from. But the point is, we know the look at it. I need to do that data storytelling. This is the first job of the piece that we used to do before. We just do it in a different world today. I do the storytelling, I use sentiment analytics, I use the demand forecast, and I say what the actual events look like.
Yeah, got it. No,
Does that help?
Yeah, I understood. So okay, sorry. Sorry, I thought someone raised a hand there. Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm here till the day of the end.
Yeah,
so
we will connect out.
Me.
Yeah, we'll connect outside of this. So, I'm more trying to pick your brain on how you segregated this. That's what I wanted to more understand. This four roles.
Can you choose a role for somebody else?
Sorry, I need as
an
example.
Can you choose a role for somebody else?
No. I'm saying, how did you club this?
You don't.
Oh.
You put your model in play. People will pick up roles.
Okay.
The reason I'm saying that is, it is a role education system that we say doesn't really work, and we know how it works is, let the person do what he does best. So I come from a company where we never used to fire people, though we used to fire, TCS never used to fire people. We're firing people now for a different reason. However, there is always a role for somebody. Can you decide who's going to fit in one of these roles? I can't. It is the process that's going to decide who's going to be doing the job. It automatically will flow. You organize your stuff saying, what do I need? What are you controlling? What is the landscape you want to control? You look at those 13 capabilities, you look at those 27 components, you automatically will see who's going to be falling in what role. That's the way I would approach it. Multiple other ways to do it. I mean, ear catching is an exercise that India still does. Yeah, Jay?
No, I was just going to say, I think some of this will vary by organization, right? I think the focus doesn't need to be that it has to be this form. This is just an augmentation of what works for this ecosystem, right? I think for your individual ecosystem, it might work a little bit differently. You might call something a little bit different, but ultimately the task these roles provide to the 27 that Sridhar has documented, I think ultimately some of those tasks will fall into these buckets. You might choose to make 8 roles out of this, or you might choose to make 2, depending on what works for your ecosystem. I think is probably the shortest answer of that.
Thanks, Jay. Because that's exactly what I was trying to convey, but he did it better.